Okay, all right, let's do, guys, that was really bad driving. That was so bad. All right, we're gonna do lap number 2. KP Buggy 22 says, when are y'all racing? I don't know, man. Honestly, I wanted to make sure that I gave everybody a chance to get the map in their hands, and then we could do like a multiplayer race. Now, the multiplayer race, like I'll probably like just time myself, or not time myself, but like I'll be the timer guy, and I'll have everybody else race kind of while it's all happening and going down. All right, we got the old trusty UFO here, and we're gonna do lap number 2. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. If you're new around here, I appreciate you stopping by. This is a highlight of the lap number 2 in the JtmwTV King of the Hammers. So first things first, how do you get to here? In our Discord for free, you can download this mod. There should be a link below in the YouTube description, and all you have to do is, once you download it, go to free roam, click on King of the Hammers. I like to spawn at Hammertown. It'll spawn you right under the arch here. Once you get in here, this is the important part, you'll press M. M will take you to the big sky view, and if you scroll down, you'll see we have a qualifying lap 1, lap 2, and lap 3. So for lap number 2, which is what we're going to show in this video, obviously click on that one. Oh, hey, look at that car. It looks really identical to the one I'm running. And we got a little message here that says, run through the rough Johnson Valley intense rock trails. Make the fastest time to be featured on the JtmwTV leaderboards. So, good stuff. This is very important. As of whenever I'm recording this for Beam, missions are kind of scuffed, so always click set route and then quick travel. All right, perfect. You'll see when you spawn after clicking that for laps 1, 2, and 3, you'll spawn here to say there's 3 missions available. Click on see details. You'll see lap number 1, which we just recorded. You can find that and qualifying shown in another video on our YouTube channel. It'll show you your best time. We just ran it in 10 minutes, running it pretty slow. So we'll go to lap number 2 here, and you can see that there's 2 very important options that you'll need to pay attention to. One is the number of laps, and then also reverse. You can run these trails in reverse. Never done it before, be interested to see. I bet reverse would be way faster, but maybe I'm wrong. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the JtmwTV King of the Hammers, lap number 2. This lap is very rock heavy. This is where we start going way harder in the rocks. Speedball, is this the lap you made rougher? Yes, for sure, and you'll see it. I made my own trails in this lap that are much harder. Not impossible, but much harder. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, and if you see here, we have 115 checkpoints on this lap. On lap number 1, we had 72. And this car works so much better for me when it comes to drivability. This really is my favorite car in the game. If you missed our top 10 video on our YouTube, it's no spoilers, but this one placed pretty high. This is a really, really good car. And I did beta test this this lap number 2. I did beta test it in multiple cars, so I know that it's doable in a variety of cars. I beta tested it also in a solid axle car, and it was achievable as well, although I think that it's easier to do the rock trails in an IFS car, which is not normally the case, but I felt that way. But I'll be curious to see what you guys have to say. I will tell you this, if you want to do hard mode, if you want to submit your time as hard mode, obviously there will be a different category on our on our leaderboards for hard mode stuff too. Who knows? Momentum does a lot for you in this game, that's for sure. Oh, perfect. Thank you, KP Buggy, for the Discord link in chat. Appreciate that very, very much, sir. I'm really excited. So here's what I'm thinking, if I can stay on trail and focus. I am thinking that whoever holds the fastest times for qualifying laps 1, 2, and 3, they'll have a special role in our Discord. And our Discord's about 300 right now. Obviously, anyone is welcome to come hang out and play with us. And you can flaunt how good you are at the game. with your special Discord role for holding the fastest time on a King of the Hammers lap. Okay, so I am not running hard mode, which means I can set spawn points and respawn my car anytime that I need. Now, I will tell you this, with the tune that I have for this car, man, guys, I cannot talk and drive. It is absolutely hilarious how poor I am at multitasking. So I've got to like stop talking and actually drive here in a second. Also, I can't wait to show you guys on lap number 3, we have a new backdoor trail. Everything's been remodeled. Alright, so lap number 2, we're going to go ahead and start jumping into the desert here. I'm giving you guys like a grade A clinic on what not to do. So I hope that you guys are better than me. For the record, I'm a much better map maker than I am a driver. And again, I gotta give props to the BeamNG developers. I'm not the original creator. I just piggybacked off of something amazing that they built. Alright, a little bit of rock section done here. Now, I'll tell you this, I actually did have like most of Chocolate Thunder just completely built out here, or at least a version of Chocolate Thunder, and I ended up losing that version of the game. So anytime that you're making maps, save often and early. I just had the map file get corrupted with a bug that Beam didn't know how to fix. I even reached out to a few people on like the Beam development team, and they didn't know how to resolve my issue. So kind of a bummer, had to lose a little bit of progress. We are cruising through the rock trails here. I really, really, really like the way that this UFO car runs through pretty much everything. I like it in the desert. It's very predictable in the desert, and it's very stable in the rocks. I'm gonna say that, and then I'm gonna flip over. That's really fun. Again, can't multitask. I gotta quit talking. But you'll see, for the most part, the lap number 2 has been pretty much the same. See, I got a bad tire there, so we'll keep going. It's pretty much the same so far. I did make a couple of the sections, like right here, I actually made it a little harder. It's not noticeable. I made some of the rocks a little bit bigger, made it to slow you down a little bit more. Let's see if I'm in the, yeah, I am in the right spot. I wanted to, that gate kind of looks kind of confusing, and I thought I may have misplaced that gate, but it looks good. For a big car, this is quite the turn. Now, I plan on running 4,600 races, 4,400 races, like stock car, unlimited, and I plan on maybe trying to even do a 4,900 race out of our Discord too, which the UTVs will probably only run, that was kind of stupid of me to do that, the UTVs will probably only run lap number 2. I think it'll take a long time, and they'll have resets. Alright, now I'm going to stop talking so I can actually focus on driving. Did I see the guy who made it up on back door on 35s? Of course! Of course. I've got a new back door to show him. But yeah, of course, man. That's one of my buddies. I appreciate him a lot. He's I like it when people, you know, display the map that we've made and all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm happy to see people doing cool stuff like that. All right, we're just trucking right along here. This rock right here is a nicely in the way every time. beta testing, like on my own, to make sure that all the gates were in the right spot, and then doing it on stream is like so much worse. I'm so much of a worse driver on stream. Alright. I don't think this is one of the sections that I made harder, but I could be wrong. It's not impossible. It's a really good idea to not do that, but I was going to say it's a good idea to get a running start here for this little hill. Alright, I actually did smooth this section out a little bit. There was another big rock or two that I felt like made this a little bit too hard, and now there's, don't get me wrong, this is a pretty intense rock section, but there's a bit more of a clear path through here, and now we're going to start getting to the part where I made some things harder for sure. But I think it feels better. You know, there's a lot of chattery rocks, like what we're in right now. I didn't change any of this. Like, the chatter sometimes is not fun because it slows you down. And as I was coming through here, I was like, well, what makes, you know, watching King of the Hammers fun? Well, having big-ass rocks. So I added some big-ass rocks right here. But if you see, this is kind of a new line here. It's nothing major, but it's will come back up this way. So you have to forget that the UFO car can literally just go straight. Alright, so that is an increased difficulty section. Nothing major, but you'll see here in just a second. Okay, if you're a watcher of the original King of the Hammers map, this is one of the differences right here. So in the old lap 2, you would go straight here. Where the new lap 2 begins is right here. We're actually going to go ahead and take a right here. And we are going to head back into the rocks. Right here on lap 2 previously, you would run into the desert, and we are going to run a significant amount more of the rock trails. Alright, so we're up. I did smooth this section out from what was originally here. Again, hilariously, I roll. You get through here, and then we'll start getting into some things. I did make this down section a little harder. The rocks are bigger. You have to be a little bit more mindful of what you're doing. And right here, we've got a little something different too. Don't fall in the giant hole. Okay, we're going to take a hard right here. There we go. So this is all new if you haven't seen it yet. Go underneath the bridge here. And then we've been in the rocks for a while, so I wanted to open it up just a little bit. So you got a little section here where you can let it out, but you need to be careful. Not only because of that, but because right on the other side of this is a built-in pretty tough section here. Not tough, it's just steep. And if you come at this too quickly, you'll slam into one of those rocks and do something like that where you break the front end. Okay, we've got another pretty decent rock section here. Like I said, guys, I added, you know, it is King of the Hammers, so I wanted the Hammers trails to be Hammers trails. Lap 2 is very rock heavy in the real race, so why is it not in this race? Also, the sound of my car getting absolutely thrashed through here. It's rough. There we go. We are almost to the hard part of the trails here. Okay, I did add some difficulty here. We'll go around here. We got a nice rock climb. And we're back into big boulders. Now, I'll say this, when I was off stream, I actually ran this in Tom's Truggy. I was able to move pretty quickly through most of this stuff. I know I'm doing a good job of not moving through it super quick right here, but again, as always, when you're on stream, it's a good time to race and do things like that. And I think it's worth pointing out too that I am not doing the hard mode in the gameplay options, you have the options to turn on hardcore scenarios or something like that, and that will prevent you from setting respawn points. I am not doing hard mode, so I am able to set respawn points, if you can't tell. Okay, we're gonna go down through here. Try not to get caught by that. Up and over here. Coming on back down. The game's also kind of lagging a little bit. Is it lagging on your guys' screen for you? Okay, we're gonna have to follow the trails. And again, all of this should be pretty self-explanatory. This is the most tires I've ever burst to. Alright, so this is the last of the really hard rock trails here. We're kind of getting to the end of it. Because don't get me wrong, we've been getting beat up in the rocks for 13 minutes here. Now this will take some decent driving, that's for sure. But that's what I wanted. I wanted it harder. You just gotta pick your line, move forward. Now I'm gonna look at chat here in just a second, guys. After lap 2, we may take a 5 and look at chat, hang out for a sec, and I'll answer any questions you guys have or anything like that. It's like as soon as I stop talking, I can drive. Alright, crushing through here. Alright, so that is the hard trail. The second hardest, I think. And we're gonna run back up on top of this ridge here. And again, once you get the feel for it, you can kind of find where you can go fast and where you can't. We're gonna come back down this ridge. And this trail I'm calling Equalizer because I really feel like if you're fast in the desert, you're gonna lose. You know, maybe you're not the best in the rocks. This is the Now, once you guys get your hands on this, you guys are gonna make me look like a fool. I know it. There's a lot of good drivers out there. That was me, not you, by the way, on the email notification. And there are different lines here. I'm gonna take one that doesn't seem like the initial, like the line you probably should choose. See, normally I was going right here, but I actually found that going up and straight right here is not a bad choice. And this is kind of the big obstacle here. It's a little dried up waterfall. Take the right spot, roll it back. Oh no, not the line. There we go. And we pin it to win it, fellas. Tight little canyon, or not canyon, but crack there. And for the most part, we're out of the rocks now. Again, that was 17 minutes in the rocks. Definitely not setting any speed records with that one. I know for sure. I personally have run it faster than that, but that was not my cleanest run for sure. And this is a different part of the map too. This is a trail, connecting trail I made to get us back out into the desert. We're gonna just kind of weave our way out through this trail, down the mountain, and get us back to where we can start heading back to Hammertown. Now again, this is, in my opinion, this is the really heavy rock trail one. The lap 3, it definitely has rocks in it, but it's a little less than this. And this one, there's a lot of room, you know, on the course. There's a lot of room where you can make up time. You can probably skip some of the rocks. You know, time will tell how you want to play this out. Alright, here we go. Out into the desert. There's pits. My plan, and again, note the sign here. The sign says to go right. We're going to go left for lap number 2. Daniel, I got a little surprise at the end of stream, and we're going to hang out a little bit later. But this is what I like to call YouTube night. We're just filming for YouTube, sir. Alright, rushing through the desert here. And if you saw our previous King of the Hammers lap that we have up on our YouTube, you'll know that this desert section should feel pretty familiar. But what I didn't want to do in the new iteration is have you run in the same section of desert over and over. And if you want to race this, if you guys, you and your buddies want to get together and have your own race, awesome. All you have to do is, well, follow the course markers and you should be fine. But having it set up this way, it should allow for you to run with collisions on. If you had done that previously, collisions would have been a little bit of a problem for you, because you actually, laps, I think it was 2 and 3 would backtrack on each other. So if you got somebody that was either really ahead or really behind, they would potentially run into each other, but that's not a problem anymore. Now you just run into each other right here as lap traffic. Alright, there we go. Coming back into Hammertown. And I'm going to use actually a different vehicle for lap number 3 too, and see if it doesn't feel a little bit better for us. So what do you guys think of lap number 2 so far? I would be curious to know. If you're watching on Twitch, drop it in chat. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments, because I'm open to feedback and we can change this however. Like, whenever, however, whatever. And we're headed back into town. We're not going to hit the flag this time. Oh man, I made this too narrow. There you go. Alright, there it is. 21 minutes. Whew. Alright, let's go through. Thanks for watching, by the way. We're going to go through chat. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. It's great. Thanks.